Hey everyone, it's Amanda from Loops and Love Crochet here, and I have a video tutorial for you today on the corner to corner lemon peel stitch. I made this corner to corner lemon peel stitch dishcloth recently. You can find the free pattern on the blog, loopsandlovecrochet.com, and this video tutorial today goes along with that written pattern. So make sure you check out both this tutorial and the written pattern on the blog. If you've never heard of the lemon peel stitch or corner to corner, the lemon peel stitch is where you alternate single crochet and double crochet stitches. You can work it in back and forth rows. And when you work the lemon peel stitch, as you work up your rows, you'll be alternating single crochet and double crochet. So your single crochet stitches will be worked into where you worked a double crochet in the previous row. And your double crochet stitches will be worked where you worked a single crochet stitch. So it kind of alternates, kind of gives it a neat texture and makes it interesting to look at. And then when you work the lemon peel stitch on the bias, on the diagonal, that's called corner to corner, and we'll be working in back and forth rows that keep increasing until you get to the width that you want your dishcloth here in the middle, and then you'll decrease all the way back to the other corner on the other side. So as you can see with the lemon peel stitch, it gives a nice beautiful texture here. You can see that we're alternating single crochet and double crochet stitches here, and I'll show you how to work this one up. Okay, let's get started. So for this project here, I'm using a 4.5mm crochet hook. You can use any size of crochet hook that you like to use. For this one, I used 4.5 just to kind of keep the stitches a little bit closer together, but a 5mm would work as well too. And then I'm also using worsted weight cotton yarn. So you can use any worsted weight cotton yarn for this project. I'm using the Dishy yarn by We Crochet and Knit Picks for this project here today. So we're going to start out by, we'll start with one corner of our dishcloth, and we're going to work our way up, increasing each row until we get to the width we like right here in the middle. So when we're increasing, the first stitch and the last stitch of each row are going to have 2 stitches worked into them. So then each row will increase by 2 stitches all the way up. So I'll show you how that works and we'll get started here. So to start off, we're going to work a slip knot here. And then we're going to chain 2. And then going back to the farthest stitch away from you, the second chain from your hook, you're going to work a single crochet and a double crochet. So we'll single crochet and double crochet both in the same stitch. And that's all for the first row. That's row 1. And then we're going to chain 1. No, we're going to chain 2, sorry. We're going to chain 2 and turn. And because we started off the last row with a single crochet, we're going to start off this next row with a double crochet. So basically, whatever stitch you leave off the row before on, that's the stitch that you're going to start with. And we're going to start off by working 2 stitches in these 2 stitches here, because there's only 2 stitches. We're going to work 2 stitches and 2 stitches, so there'll be an increase in both of those stitches. So we're going to do a double crochet and a single crochet in the first stitch. So double crochet, single crochet, and then we're going to do the same thing in the next stitch. We'll work a double crochet, and a single crochet. So now we have 4 stitches, so we just increased from our 2 to 4. So each row is going to get 2 stitches bigger. Now we left off with our last stitch as a single crochet, so the first stitch of the next row is also going to be a single crochet, so I'm going to chain 1 and turn. Now in this first stitch, we're going to work an increase. We're going to do a single crochet and a double crochet. And then for the next 2 stitches in the middle, we're going to alternate single crochet and double crochet. So I'll do a single crochet again in the next stitch, and then double crochet in the one after. So you'll know you're alternating correctly when you work a single crochet into a double crochet spot from the previous row, and your double crochets are placed where your single crochets were from the previous row. And then we're at our last stitch here, and we're gonna work 2 stitches in that last one, an increase again, and that'll be a single crochet, double crochet. So single crochet, double crochet in the last. So we've increased here from 2 stitches to 4 stitches and now to 6 stitches. So the first stitch and the last stitch of each row, those are where the increases are right now as we work our way up to the middle of the triangle. Okay, so from here we ended with a double crochet, so our first stitch from the next round is also going to be a double crochet, and this is just so that our alternating of our single and double crochet stitches will work out properly for the next row here. So we're in chain 2 and turn. In the first stitch here, we got to do an increase, so it'll be a double crochet and a single crochet. So double crochet, single crochet, and then our next stitch, we're just going to keep alternating double crochet, single crochet, double crochet, single crochet across until we get to the last stitch. And you can see that our double crochet is going to get placed right in the top of this single crochet from the previous row here. So I'm going to go double crochet, single crochet, double crochet in the next, and then a single crochet, and then we're at our last stitch, so we have to increase in that one, so it'll be double crochet, single crochet. So we're just alternating, one row will be alternating double crochet, single crochet, and the next row will be alternating single crochet, double crochet. So we ended off with a single crochet. We're going to chain 1 here, and we'll be starting the next row with a single crochet. So we'll turn, and we're going to work single crochet, double crochet in the same stitch. And then we'll keep alternating single crochet, double crochet all the way across until we get to the last stitch where we'll work our increase where they're both going to be in the same stitch. So it's a single crochet next, and a double crochet, single crochet, double crochet, single crochet, double crochet, and then single crochet and double crochet in the same stitch at the very end here. So as you can see, we have our corner of our dishcloth starting off here. So this is the bottom corner of our dishcloth, and our stitch counts, they should be increasing by 2 stitches each time. So we left off with a double crochet. So we'll be starting on the next row also with a double crochet. So chain 2, turn, and then we'll do a double crochet and a single crochet in the same stitch. So double, single, and then we'll do a double crochet in the next stitch. So I had a knot in my yarn there. Single crochet, double crochet, single crochet, double crochet, single crochet, double crochet, single crochet, and then the last stitch will be double crochet, single crochet. We're just alternating the whole way across here. So double crochet and then single crochet. All right, so there we go. There's our first 6 rows of the pattern here. So now we're gonna make a color change. So I'm gonna show you how to work those color changes. We're gonna do the color change in the last stitch of the row before the color change here. So I'm just gonna pull out that last single crochet that we made. And I'm gonna be working with white next. So my last single crochet, I'm working my single crochet right up until the last yarn over. And then instead of yarning over in this coral color that I'm working in, I'm going to yarn over in white. So here's my white yarn. So I'm going to do that last yarn over with the white yarn here. And I'm just going to pull that coral yarn a little bit tighter down at the bottom there. And then using my white yarn, because I left off with a single crochet, I'm going to chain one, and I'm going to turn. And then you can choose here what you'd like to do. I'm going to work over the two yarn tails a little bit here, just to secure them for a little bit. So I'm just going to pick up that yarn tail of the coral, and I have the yarn tail of the white at the back there. I'm just going to hold them both up as I work. I'll do my single crochet and my double crochet together in the first stitch, and then it'll be single, double, and you're going to keep alternating single and double all the way across. Now I'm just working over my yarn tail. You can choose, if you don't want to work over your yarn tail, you could leave them hang and then you could sew them in at the end. It's up to you. I like to work them over when I can, because then I don't have to sew them all in at the end. So there's a single, double, single, double, and single, double in the last here. Single, double. Okay, I worked over the two yarn tails for the whole row since the row wasn't very long, and I'm just going to pull those a little bit tighter. There we go. And then at this point, if you want, you could cut those ones or you could work them in farther. You can choose what you'd like to do. If you feel like it's not secure, you could work them in for another row too. And because I ended off with a double crochet, my next row is also going to be starting with a double crochet. So I'm going to chain two. So every time we start with a double crochet, we chain two. And every time we start with a single crochet, we chain one. So I'm going to work my single crochet and my double crochet in the first stitch here. And then I'm going to alternate my double crochet and my single crochet across. Just need a little bit more of the white yarn. So double crochet, single crochet, double crochet, and when we get to the end of this row, we're going to be working another color change here, because I'm working 2 rows of the white color in between each of the colors here. So I'll show you how to work a color change again here. Okay, so I'm at my last stitch. I'm going to work the 2 last stitches in the same stitch here, so it'll be a double crochet and a single crochet. And for my single crochet here, I'm going to be switching colors, and I'm going to be working with the next color, which is the green color here. And I'm just going to cut the yarn here. I'm going to cut this coral yarn here, and if you want, you can use your yarn needle to sew that in later. I'm just gonna cut this white as well, because I'll weave it in for a little bit, but just kind of keeps it out of the way a little bit. So there we go, my last yarn over. I'm gonna grab my coral yarn, or sorry, my green yarn. So I did my last yarn over, my last single crochet, all the way up until the last yarn over. I'm yarning over in the green color, pulling tight with my white. And because I left off with a single crochet, my next stitch is going to be a single crochet, so I'm just going to chain one. And then I'm going to turn, and I'm going to pick up the green yarn just here on the back and the white one here on the front. There we go. And I'm going to work single crochet, double crochet in the same stitch. And we'll just pull tight that white end there and that green end. And then I'm going to continue to work single crochet, double crochet across, holding on to those two ends of yarn there, making sure they're nice and secure. So alternating the single, double all the way across. And again, you can work the yarn tails under as long as you want to. You don't have to do it for the whole row. Okay, we're at the last couple stitches here. For the last stitch, we'll do the single and double together in the same stitch. So single, and double, there, and there we go. So you can pull tight those tails there, and you can cut them afterwards. All right, so there we go. And now working here, we have the bottom corner of our dishcloth here. And you can continue working up your increases all the way until you get your dishcloth just as wide as you'd like it to be at the widest part. And then you can start your decreases. So check out the pattern for details on that. I'm gonna finish increasing and finish my striping pattern. And then I'll meet you at the end here when we're finished the increases, and I'll show you how to start working the decreases. Okay, as you can see here, I finished all of the increases for this side of the dishcloth here. So I finished 1/2 of the square. So this row here, row 20, that's the widest part of the square on the diagonal here. So from here on to the end, we're going to be decreasing each row. So instead of each row growing by 2 stitches, each row is going to decrease by 2 stitches. So that means the last 2 stitches and the first 2 stitches of each row, that's where you're going to be working a decrease. So we're going to be working single crochet decreases for all of our decreases. And then the rest of our stitches will be alternating single and double crochet depending on the stitch from the previous round. So you'll be working single crochet stitches in the single crochet stitches in the double crochet stitches from the previous row, and double crochet stitches in the single crochet stitches from the previous row. So just take a look at the pattern there to make sure you're alternating correctly. So here, if you're working stripes, just to kind of a word of advice, if you want to keep your stripes nice and even looking, your widest row of your square, like the middle of the square here, this should be the middle of one of your striping sections. So I've worked 6 coral, and then 2 white, and then 6 green, and then 2 white, and then I'm going to be working 7 of the coral color. So there'll be 3 rows, and then the 4th one will be the widest row, and then 3 rows of decreases, and then going back to 2 white, 6 green, 2 white, 6 coral. So just depending on how you're doing your striping, just if you find it's not looking even, you need to make sure that the middle part of your stripe is lining up with the largest row of your square here. So I finished off with this increase here. Now we're going to be working some decreases. So I'm just going to chain 1 and turn. And I have 3 rows of coral to work before I change back to white here. So I'm going to chain 1 and turn, and then I'm going to work a single crochet decrease. All right, and the next stitch here, because it was a single crochet, the next stitch here, I'm going to be working double crochet. So it'll be double crochet, single crochet, double crochet, single crochet until I get to the last 2 stitches of the row. And the last 2 stitches, you'll do a single crochet decrease. All right, so I just finished the rest of that row there. So our last, I just have the decrease, sorry, at the end here. So I did, my last stitch here is a single crochet, but I'm not going to work a double crochet in the next because all the decreases are going to be single crochet decreases. So I'm going to do a single crochet decrease for the last 2 stitches here. There we are. And then I'm going to chain 1 and turn. And then I'm going to start the next row by working another single crochet decrease. So there's that decrease, and then I can see the next stitch here was a double crochet, so I'm going to go single, double all the way across. And when we get to the last 2 stitches of the row, it'll be a single crochet decrease. There, so you're just going to continue on working just as we are with the single crochet decrease at the first 2 stitches and the last 2 stitches of each row, and then the ones in the middle you're going to alternate single and double crochet or double and single crochet depending on the stitches from the previous round. So you just got to make sure you're putting a double crochet in the top of a single crochet or a single crochet in the top of a double crochet. So we'll continue on there. So we got, it'll be 7 rows total of this coral color, and then 2 white, and then 7 of the green, or 6 of the green, sorry, and then 2 white, and then you'll finish with 6 coral, and then that'll be the end there, and then I'll meet you back and we will look at doing the border. Okay, so here is the finished dishcloth square here. I finished the rest of the decreases going to the end here. So here you can be finished here. You can just block it. I'm not sure if you're familiar with blocking, but basically you can wet it a little bit and pin it into the shape that you like. If yours is not quite square or a little bit wonky looking. I'm going to add a single crochet border to this one. As you can see in this other one we did here, I added a single crochet border of the cream color, and then I did another row of the border in the gray. So you can choose however many rows of the border you'd like to do, but it's just a simple single crochet border with 3 single crochet stitches in each corner. So what we're going to do here is we're going to I'm going to use the white yarn, and you can choose any stitch to start on here. So I'm just gonna pick any stitch. I'll pick one maybe right near one of the corners. And I'm just gonna put my yarn on my hook and pull it through. And then I will chain 1, and then I'm just gonna single crochet in each stitch, and then we're gonna work 3 single crochet stitches into each corner. And I'm gonna work over the yarn tail here, or you can also sew it in later. So here's the corner, 1, 2, 3, and then you can continue on the other side. So it's just 1 single crochet stitch into each stitch all the way around. So there's the first part there, and we're going to go all the way around in the exact same way, all 4 sides, putting 3 stitches in each corner, and then I'll meet you back here at the other end. Okay, so now we're all finished this corner to corner lemon peel stitch dishcloth here. So I just did the 1 round of single crochet border around the outside, working 3 single crochet stitches into each of the corners here, and then I joined the last single crochet stitch to the first one with a slip stitch and then weaved in the ends. So here we go. So if you want, you can add another round of the border on. This one here again has 2 rounds on it, so it's just totally up to you here what preference you have with your borders. Or you didn't have to add one at all. So now if you'd like to block your dishcloth, you can, up to you. And we're all finished this pattern. So I hope you found this video tutorial helpful, and as well as the written pattern on the blog, loopsandlovecrochet.com. I'd love it if you subscribe to this YouTube channel and followed Loops and Love Crochet on Facebook and on Instagram. Thanks for watching.